What's going on, y'all? Jason Thomas here with the Good Ground Lounge. We bring entrepreneurs to talk about their past experiences, things that they do, give insight, give back to the next generation of young professionals. And we have a special guest here today. Who do we have here today?
Hi, I'm Davis Jaspers, founder of Vitalife.
Vitalife. So tell us, if people don't know, what is Vitalife?
Yeah, so Vitalife is a weight loss and wellness program where we specialize in a metabolic bioscan that allows us to know exactly what our clients need to overcome their metabolic challenges. We then take that information and customize weight loss programs specifically tailored to them, and then coach them through the long-term habits and lifestyle changes that they're going to need to keep the weight off the rest of their life.
So give me that same answer in kindergarten language.
In kindergarten language. We are the last stop on the diet train.
I heard that. So yeah, I mean, the question I got, man, why do you think there are so many people who struggle with weight now? I think it feels like it's more than it ever was. Is that, I don't know, I haven't did the research, but is this the most out of shape people have been ever?
It is, and it's actually continuing to grow. So right now in the United States, 75% of the adult population is either overweight or obese. Over half of the adult population now is pre-diabetic or diabetic. Some shocking statistics. If you go back 50 years, the average pediatrician would see, if you could guess, how many type 2 diabetes children. Okay, so the average pediatrician 50 years ago, maybe a little bit more, maybe 60 years ago, take a guess. How many would they see?
They will probably see, out of 100 people?
Whatever statistic you want to
I would
use.
say less than 5%. That's what I would say. Yeah, 50,
right.
60 years ago, yeah.
So the average pediatrician 50, 60 years ago would see one in their entire career.
How many are they seeing now?
One out of every three. One out of every three. So then, of course, the answer to your question is yes, it's getting worse. And then the next question to ask is why?
Yes.
Why is it getting worse?
Why?
Because we're getting smarter. We're advancing as a civilization. We have more technology than we've ever had. I mean, you look at now, with the start of AI and everything, there is more out there than there ever has been. But yet, Americans, we're actually having lower life expectancy over the past couple of years. To give an idea of how sick we are, we had in the United States 77% of the world's deaths for COVID.
We had 77%.
We had 77% of the world's deaths for COVID. So we have arguably one of the most advanced medical systems and medical abilities in the world. And yet 77% of the deaths. So again, what is the problem, right? We have an issue. And
you making all the kids sad, Davis. Nobody. So now that you telling me the Happy Meal ain't happy no more, man.
The Happy Meal ain't happy no more. But that was such a great. Do you know why the Happy Meal? Why they invented the Happy Meal at McDonald's?
Why?
Because they wanted to addict the children to the food.
You just ruining my childhood, man. Like, talking to you, I was happy to see you. And you know what? And on top of all this, man, food prices, like, when I go grocery shopping, it's like the food prices are higher than they've been in a long time.
Yep.
And you're saying addiction is all this and that. It's like it's spiraling.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. If you, especially in America, if you follow, and I'm a business owner, so it's not like I think money is evil or anything like that. But if you follow the big money, it's going to tell you what's happening. So the two most powerful and most funded lobby groups in Washington are, number one, the pharmaceutical companies, and number two, the food companies. So there's actually 11 food companies that control 90% of Americans' food. So they spend billions of dollars a year to get the right crunch, the right combination of fat and sugar, the right thing to addict you. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was a kid, it was Jif creamy peanut butter. And if my mom if she went out and bought something other than that, we had words. It's like, Mom, what are you doing buying this off-brand junk? Because we were already, as children, my sister and I, that was the peanut butter that we ate, because the food company's job is to not keep you healthy. The food company's job is to sell food.
Has that always been their job? Did their job used to be healthy? Because I think before you answer that, that's another myth you might be able to shed light to. Was the food pyramid a lie?
Good question. So if we as Americans actually followed the food pyramid, or now it's called My Plate, which basically has, circles of food, it's still not an ideal diet. But honestly, if every American ate exactly that way, we would be fine, right? So the number one cause of inflation is not who the president is, or what happened during the election, or who's spending what money. Okay, the driver of inflation is our healthcare costs. Last year, in America in 2022, we spent $113,000 per capita on healthcare. Now, if you're thinking the way I'm thinking, that's more than what most people make in a year. And yet that's what each person is being spent, which then creates this very interesting idea. And it's not even an idea, it's just a fact. The most valuable commodity in America is a sick American.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah. So
how do you sleep at night knowing all of this stuff, man?
I don't. This is what gets me up. This is what keeps me up, and this is what keeps me doing what I do. Because honestly, there's no money in what I do, which is teaching people how to change their lifestyle. It's actually very hard because I'm also dealing with addicts. The most addictive substance, and there's several different rat studies that show this, the most addictive substance is sugar. It's more addictive than heroin and cocaine. So when these rat studies, the rats had choices between heroin, cocaine, sugar, processed sugar. And they overwhelmingly, it was over like 85% of them, continue to choose the sugar as the preferred addictive or hedonic substance. So we know that. We've established that. We have brain scans that show the same intensity of the reward centers in our brain light up with that as with recreational or other drugs people are using. So we have the same reward system. We know that. And the treatment for addiction is not less of that thing. It's not like you go to Alcoholics Anonymous and like, hey, congratulations, everybody. We are going to give everybody their 5-day chip and celebrate in the back with a shot of vodka. Right. It's laughable, right? Because we would never do that.
Yeah, it's laughable because if we did that, that would be foolish, but we're doing that with sugar.
And that's the problem. It's not just that we're doing it with sugar, is we can't get away from eating, So the fix to an addiction is you don't ever do it again, right? And the proven methods of breaking addiction are just that, ways of stopping that habit, that habitual thing. So now we're dealing with the most addictive substance, and then we're the only treatment course is, you know what? You're going to have to just play with fire and not get burned. So tell that to an addict, like, hey, just do a little alcohol. Just do, that's basically what's happening. So we are in the business of behavior change because, we have the bioscan. We can customize the most perfect weight loss program where, we've had people lose upwards of 70 pounds in 40 days, right? If they just follow what we tell them. So that part's amazing. But at the end of the day, if they don't change their habits and lifestyle, they're just going to go back.